The University of Sussex is embroiled in a high-stakes legal battle against the Office for Students, OVS, England's higher education regulator, accusing the OVS of a targeted persecution rather than a genuine attempt at problem-solving. This dramatic escalation follows the OVS's imposition of a staggering £585,000 fine, a record-breaking penalty, levied against the university for two alleged historic breaches of its regulations concerning freedom of speech and governance. The controversy centers around the protracted, 3.5-year investigation triggered by the resignation of Professor Kathleen Stock, a prominent figure whose views on gender identification and transgender rights ignited intense protests on campus. This lengthy investigation, culminating in the substantial fine, has Vice-Chancellor Sasha Roseneil vehemently contesting the OVS's actions, characterizing them as a punitive measure rather than a constructive approach to addressing the underlying issues. The university is now pursuing legal action to overturn the fine, highlighting a deep chasm between the institution and its regulator. The OVS's statement, justifying the penalty, cites breaches related to freedom of speech and governance, directly implicating the university's handling of the situation surrounding Professor Stock's departure. This interpretation, however, is fiercely contested by the University of Sussex, which argues the OVS has misrepresented the facts and unfairly targeted the institution. The legal challenge promises a thorough examination of the OVS's investigative process and the application of its regulations, with potentially far-reaching consequences for higher education institutions across England. Professor Stock herself has weighed in on the matter, expressing her profound disappointment with the OVS's statement. She highlights a specific clause within the statement as particularly problematic, a clause that mandates any materials within relevant courses and modules will positively represent trans people and trans lives. Professor Stock argues this stipulation places undue constraints on academic freedom and potentially silences dissenting viewpoints within the curriculum. In her own account, Professor Stock details her attempts to address concerns internally, stating that she tried to raise the matter with superiors but to no avail. This lack of internal resolution, she contends, forced her to increasingly self-censor her teaching on sex and gender in feminist philosophy. She explains that much of her critical commentary on the evolving discourse around gender identity was subsequently relegated to platforms outside the formal academic environment, a clear indication of the chilling effect she perceived within the university. The implication is that the university, rather than fostering open debate, created an environment where expressing certain viewpoints became increasingly difficult, a direct contradiction of the principles of academic freedom. The legal battle promises to be a landmark case, raising crucial questions about academic freedom, the role of higher education regulators, and the balance between protecting vulnerable groups and safeguarding free speech within universities. The potential implications extend far beyond the University of Sussex, affecting how other institutions navigate complex debates surrounding gender identity and academic discourse. The immense financial penalty underscores the seriousness of the accusations leveled against the university, and the university's decision to pursue legal action signifies its unwavering commitment to challenging what it views as an unjust and disproportionate response from the OVS. The coming legal proceedings will be closely scrutinized not only by the higher education sector, but also by broader society, as it grapples with the intersection of academic freedom, freedom of speech, and the rights of marginalized communities. The case will likely set a precedent for future interactions between universities and regulatory bodies, shaping the landscape of academic discourse and freedom for years to come. The outcome will have significant implications for the balance between academic freedom and the protection of vulnerable groups, fundamentally affecting the future of higher education in England. The debate extends beyond the specifics of this case, touching upon the wider societal conversation surrounding freedom of expression, inclusivity, and the complexities of navigating differing viewpoints within an academic setting. The University of Sussex's legal challenge is therefore more than just a dispute over a fine. It is a critical examination of the principles that underpin a thriving and vibrant academic community.